Hey, good morning. Patricia Murphy here. It's Saturday. This is Seattle Now. Today we're bringing you the best from another KUOW podcast, Meet Me Here. You probably have different types of friends you do different things with. Friends you go hiking with, take to baseball games, or go out to eat with. But do you have any art friends? You know, people you can take to cultural events like gallery shows and museum exhibits and engage in thoughtful conversations about art with. Meet Me Here's Jeannie Yandel spoke with arts community leader Leilani Lewis about the importance of having an arts-minded social circle and asks for a few tips on how to make some art friends. Here's Jeannie.
From Seattle Art Fair to smaller gallery shows to new exhibitions at the Fry and the Henry, Seattle has an embarrassment of art events and exhibitions on offer right now. That description comes from the local magazine Public Display Art, by the way. And the good news is you can't really go wrong with any of these events or exhibitions. You're going to find exciting work pretty much anywhere you go. But all these artistic riches could feel overwhelming to check out alone. So how do you find like-minded people who are curious to go check out some art together? Arts community leader, writer, and experienced art friend Leilani Lewis is here to help. Growing up, she watched her mom seek out specific kinds of friendships. And for years, Leilani has done the same to create and cultivate her own group of art friends. She's got some ideas to help us make art friends of our own. Leilani, why do you think it's important to make art friends?
I think it is absolutely important to make art friends so that you can have people to go out with and experience new things, see new things, learn new things with, and deepen your understanding of yourself and the people around you. There's so many questions that art asks of us, and answering those questions with others is just sort of the excitement and stimulation that comes from that is just absolutely invaluable. I think we have an inclination to connect, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful platform with which to do that. You know, with the artists connecting with us connecting with others, it's a wonderful way to expand our lives.
I know that as a child, you watched your mom intentionally create and cultivate friendships. What did that look like?
So I'm dating myself here. My mother she would put an ad in the newspaper. So my mother was a World War II survivor and a British World War II survivor. So she was interested in meeting other women. She put an ad in the newspaper, like a print ad. You can do that for like maybe $2 or $5 back in the day. And she would say, you know, meet me, you know, if you were raised in England between this time and this time, I'm looking to meet up for tea and to talk. And she made lifelong friends that way. She also, you know, when she worked at the Detroit Institute of Art, she managed volunteers and docents. So she met people who loved art that way. Like she took a couple modes, but she kind of just, you know, crossed her fingers and put it out there, and she'd have a group of ladies that she met with on Sundays for tea. At the time, to me, they were little old ladies. They were probably in their 50s, but they were this child. But she would do this. So and I think I've sort of brought that in with some of the groups that I belong to, or like I'm often a collaborator, and making something happen, whether it's an event or an intentional or long-term group. That's been my sort of modus operandi for a long time, because I find it so nourishing, and it is great to share this sort of experience, whether it be art or anything else, with other people.
So I definitely hear that courage is important, a willingness to kind of put yourself out there, be the organizer, be the inviter. You don't have to wait to be included or invited.
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit about what it looks like to go somewhere with an art friend. And I wanted to start with the Seattle Art Fair. It's this big event happening July 17th to 20th. It takes over the entire Lumen Field Event Center. How would you approach going to an event like Seattle Art Fair with an art friend?
dress comfortably, if not a little stylishly. This is an art fair.
Dress comfortably, if not a little stylishly.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, but comfortable shoes, absolutely. It's concrete floors throughout, and they're unforgiving. So I definitely, definitely, arch support and all that. So while you're there, don't try to see everything. Maybe choose depth over breadth.
Okay.
Pause at pieces that move you, even if they're not like in a trendy space. Talk to the gallerists. They're often there to answer questions, and they know so much about what they're showing. They know about the artists. They have backstories about the work. Those can be really interesting conversations. Another thing is take photos of the labels of work that you are interested in learning more about. So many times I've taken a photo of a piece of work and I just don't I did not get who the artist is and like medium and all that. So if you're taking a photo of a piece, take a photo of the label right after it so you have it sort of organized. You could do I don't know, I've created like an art fair bingo. Just a very simple one. And actually I think I did this with my daughter years ago. So we created I wanted to help her connect to art. So created a little card which art scared you? Which art did you made you want to moved you, made you want to cry? Which one was the most colorful or most mysterious? These types of little questions. So we created a little bingo card just so it can move her through. But I've used that with now my adult friends, and it's kind of
Oh my
fun.
God, I love that.
So come up with a few little questions and do a little bingo thing, and then that's a good platform for just having some discussion.
What about, I don't know, going to the Fry Museum or the Henry Museum, both of which are free, or going to an art walk? How would you do that with an art friend?
Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, so the Fry and the Henry both free, and Seattle Art Museum, being technically a pay what you can institution, can be quite cost effective and also a smaller, more maybe quieter experience. I totally recommend going, making a plan, meeting there, and planning to meet for lunch. Both of them have cafes. The Henry has a cafe, Fry has a cafe, and of course Sam does. I also think one of the cool corridors that I'm really interested in is over on 23rd and Union, where Art Noir is. It's a gallery that is still relatively new, just a few years old, but it is just popping and with excitement and really cool artists and artisans. And in that space, there are several little businesses, including the restaurant Communion, which is quite famous here in Seattle and nationally now. But there's also places like Marjorie, which is just a lovely little, and I actually consider it an art space in itself because of the artwork and intentionality that went behind creating that space. So just down the block is Wanawari, just one block away. So you can create your own little art walk sometimes, just by being picking a specific area and being okay, we'll start here, we'll get a bite, we'll move on to this space. I really am into that, and that can be a collaborative experience and be oh, I want to check this out, I think that one of the things about getting it together with somebody else to experience art is asking them what they would like to see or what they're curious about, making sure it actually is truly a collaborative. And they might not know, they might say, I don't know, and that leaves it up to you to sort of choose. But you can you decide this one and they plan the next one, and that can be quite fun too.
What if you learned about cultivating art friendships that you could apply to just being around other people in general, being a human with other humans?
Ah, yes. Well, I think we touched on this a little bit, but there is a way. You kind of do have to know a bit about yourself, finding out how you like to interact with people. Knowing a bit about yourself. It takes a bit of restraint if you tend to be, it depends on your personality, but knowing who you are and what has worked and what hasn't worked for you is probably step one. But then also just, again, leading with you gotta be a little bit being willing to put yourself out there, fail a little bit. It's okay. But keep trying and keep open and be confident that, you'll create the community or belong to the community that's right for you. Being curious. Be curious about, creativity and art, and be curious about the people and the impacts that, the art and whatever it is has on others. Like, if it's, I can only use sports, but like, I think my mom had a knitting group, or like I have friends that have like formed other groups, and I belong to a writers community. There's just a way to build an exchange that's both authentic and supportive. But also, like, you got to share a bit of yourself. You got to put one foot in front of the other, chin up, you fall down, stand back up and get out there again, go to the openings, go to the programs, go to Remix, go to Wanawari artist talks, go and just dig yourself in, and you'll meet people. I guarantee it. You will. There are people that have only ever seen it for 20 years. I've only ever seen it openings, and we give each other a hug, and we see each other at the space, and then we carry on.
Thanks for listening to Seattle Now. Meet Me Here is hosted by Dyer Oxley, Jeannie Yandel, and Katie Campbell, and produced by Kyle Norris, Brandy Fullwood, and Matt Martin. If you want to hear more, search up Meet Me Here wherever you get your podcasts, or listen on the KUOW app. Our production team includes Caroline Chamberlain Gomez, Andy Hurst, Vaughn Jones, Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers, and Paige Browning. Greg Kramer does our theme music. Seattle Now and KUOW Public Radio are members of the NPR network. I'm Patricia Murphy. See you soon.